Hey there, it's Paul Greene. How are you doing? This is a special message to parents who just have children who are graduating from high school, like myself. My son just graduated and he's off to meet the big world, and it's a big moment for us parents. Recently I was asked to do a commencement speech for the high school I went to, which is quite ironic because I was a disaster in high school. I had a really hard time with authority and obeying rules. And some of those things made me who I am, but I certainly struggled in that environment. And so parents, some of you have struggled this whole time. And maybe your kids, you're worried about what the next step is for them. So I wanted you to enjoy this video that I shared for the school in Wetaskiwin in Canada. But I also wanted to give you a little something before that has helped me as a parent so much. And it's from the book, The Prophet of Kahlil Gibran. And there's a chapter on children. And this is how it goes. So your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. And though they may come through you, but they are not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. For you may give them your love, but not your thoughts. For they have their own thoughts. You may build their bodies, but not their souls. For their soul dwells in the house of tomorrow, which you may not visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backwards, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hands be for gladness. For even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. So for us parents, it's quite a interesting thing to think of our children going out into the world. But if we realize that they're not our children, they come through us, they're not really even from us, and we're that steady bow, and the master pulls back and bends us, and that arrow will fly far and straight. The point here is I had a really hard time around high school and leading up to high school, and I turned out all right. And so your children have their own destiny and their own journey. And yes, as parents, we do what we can. My son's off to college and we do our very, very best, but our kids, they are who they are. And we can just be that stable bow that gets bent. And how many of you feel bent right now that your kids are leaving? Some probably far away. But I just wanted to share that with you because I find it incredibly encouraging, and it leaves me with a peaceful feeling that there's things that are out of our control, and I've learned to not spend my time worrying about things that are out of my control. And the master's hand will bend you like a bow, and that arrow, your children, will fly far and straight. So I want to leave you with that. Enjoy this video. It's specifically for a high school, but I think there's something in it for everyone. It's sort of what I learned, even though I had such a hard time in high school, and the journey onward. So enjoy that. If you would do me a big favor and subscribe and turn on the notification and share this video if you think that would help another parent. Having a kid is like having your heart on the outside of your body. So I get it, but this journey of letting go and surrender and loving what is really one of the biggest journeys that we can go on, is learning that and how to surrender and totally let go of the things we can't control, like our kids. All right, see you later. Hey there, how are you? My name's Paul Greene, and I am a graduate of Wetaskiwin Composite High School, just like you. I want to congratulate you on making it through not just high school, but this crazy, nutso year that had you being at home in front of a computer, away from all your friends. And then back, and then take it back, and now it's just so much that you've had to adjust to. But the good news is it's training you for the real world, because the real world that you're about to head into is pretty unpredictable in some ways. There's the best things that you think could happen to you sometimes turn out being your biggest, hardest lesson, and then the worst thing that happens to you sometimes turns out to be the absolute best thing. So you just really never know. One of the best things I ever learned is that life is happening for me, not to me. So that everything good or bad, I'm just like, all right, it's happening. Everything's coming together. It's gonna be all right. Even the really tough stuff, when you look back, are kind of the most important things. So just a little bit of who I am. I've been asked to do a little video. I used to go to Wetaskiwin Composite High School. I had a hard time there. You know, my experience of Wetaskiwin in general, I grew up on an acreage outside, and we'd come in and had some really good friends, which really helped. But overall, I had a really hard time. I wasn't a great student. I was a good athlete. I played volleyball and some hockey, but I was never thought of somebody who was going to succeed at anything. Probably, if you looked in the yearbook, it might have been most likely maybe to end up in prison or something. Like I had a real problem with with authority and just rules and structure, and I know some of you watching know exactly what I'm talking about. And you know, the good news is I did make it through high school and somehow graduated. I think some of my coaches helped me get through it. And the rest of the good news is there's a big, beautiful world waiting just for you. And what that world wants from you is just giving it your best shot, taking her out for a rip, and failing. I've been on 650 auditions. I'm an actor. Yeah, I live in Los Angeles now, but I've had 600 no's. That's right, like 45, 50 yeses in almost 20 years of acting. So the numbers are a little disheartening. So you got to learn to fail and fail again and fail again. And every time you fail, you learn something. And believe it or not, I've learned more from how many times I've messed up than the times where I thought I was king of the world and totally kicking butt. So that's something that's really helped me, is just to keep on going. Like some of you are gonna go to university or get jobs and careers, and you know, one thing that's always guided me along the way was doing something that I really loved for me. Quite often we end up doing things for others, or to make our parents happy, or to make somebody else happy. But take the time to really look at what you're doing and choose something that really lights you up and makes you just turned on about what you're doing every day, because you get a choice. You can actually enjoy this life. I wake up every day and I smile ear to ear because I'm so in love with this life that God's given me. And that starts with, you know, my beautiful family, and that I'm healthy, and that I get to enjoy nature, and there's just so much to be grateful for. And to get out there in this world, you're definitely going to meet yourself. You know, you're going to have bosses that push you, and coworkers that maybe don't like you or whatever, but who cares? I mean, that served me a lot my whole life, is just not caring what other people think, because they probably aren't even thinking about you. Everyone's so worried about themselves. Do you know what I mean? So one of my favorite things I've ever been told is that the most important decision you ever have to make, Paul, is whether you live in a friendly universe or a hostile one. And believe it or not, it's a choice. So the world you're about to enter into, you might as well embrace it as friendly rather than hostile. And I'm telling you, whatever you focus on, you just get more of that thing. So it's like a really profound thing that helped me a lot in my life as I continued to make mistakes and fail. And you're going to make mistakes. It's just the only difference between somebody who succeeds and someone who fails is if you quit. So as long as you just keep on going, you're not a failure. So you're going to try hard things, and you're going to be rejected a lot. And the only thing that separates the losers and the winners is people who lose, so to speak, quit. So as long as you keep moving forward and just keep on going, you're really going to find your place in this world, and you're going to enjoy your experience. So I'm so excited. It was a long time ago that I was in your shoes, but I'm telling you, there's a beautiful world that's waiting for you. And if you choose to expect it to be beautiful, and you choose that it's a friendly world, then it kind of shows up that way. It's a little bit like Jedi, like Star Wars stuff. But so my experience since I left Wetaskiwin has been filled with adventure, though, and not always easy by any stretch. I sort of took on a business where maybe 1% succeed, and of that 1%, half of that percent can survive, and then the rest are just trying to get a job, and then there's a small percentage that can feed their family by acting. But I just kept going. It took me a long time, a lot of failure, a lot of mistakes, a lot of rejection, but I just kept on going. And it's just that person that keeps going that actually wins in the long run. And so you are about to enter this world, and it's not like I need to give any advice, really. It's just my experience has been, when you show up, then life really shows up to meet you there. But if you're kind of half in, half out, everything kind of matches that too. So, that has really served me, and also making sure that I have really good friends around me. You are the average of your closest 5 friends, with your income, with your intellect, with your health and your weight, with your sense of humor. Like, you're the average of your 5 closest friends. So choose your tribe wisely. I still have some of my best friends from high school that I still speak to. Russell Reimer, John Albert, Brent Kerr, and I'm still in touch with Jared Schatzsnyder, who I went to school there with as well. So, some of you are going to keep some of these high school friends for life, and that's just absolutely incredible. And then at a certain point, you're also going to have friends where you have to make hard choices. And you might have friends that are doing things that are going to ruin your life. So those are some hard decisions to make. But who you surround yourself is probably one of the most important things that you'll ever decide, is who's your tribe. And are they going to fulfill you in living this life of your dreams and the best life ever for you? So anyways, I just want to congratulate you for making it through this bizarre time in the world, and you're alive at the perfect time. And I just want to challenge you to never give up. No matter how hard it gets out there, just keep going. Just keep moving forward. Make your own luck and have fun out there.